Greetings, African people. Today, I am going to talk to you about some changes that are occurring in the immigration system around the world, really. But today, I think 42 persons are slated to be deported to Jamaica, and there have been a big response to that in terms of um, demonstration, individuals, activists getting involved in the whole process to prevent people from being deported to Jamaica. Some persons are alleged to have been slated for deportation because of marijuana, which is so ironic because marijuana now is slowly becoming, legalized around the world. But there are individuals who are being deported to Jamaica. Now, I think if you are not a citizen of a country and you go there and you break the rules and the laws of that country, it's understandable that you might lose your status. And for some of these individuals deported, that's the case. There are individuals also who probably didn't even have any status to begin with and probably lived there illegally. There are a multiplicity of reasons why individuals are being sent home. But the problem I have with this is that when you hear that a child at 8 years old, 3 years old, went to a country and at 40 years old is being deported for criminal activity, I don't understand that because why is that person sent back as a grown adult to a country where they know no one, they have no family? It seems to be a discrimination in that case. Because why should the country of birth be held responsible for things that individuals learned in your space? Now, I'm trying to stay in the middle to understand because laws are not permanent. That's why you can amend the law. Law are rights or privileges or understandings that individual within a country determine they want to hold other persons accountable to. So we need to stop looking at laws as if they're permanent and they're fixed because they're not. It's based on the agenda or the thought of the day. Because many things that we now enjoy that are legal now used to be legal. That includes being free as a Black person. At one point, I was illegal. Being a Black person, I had no right to live anywhere unless I was in chains. And now I'm a legal being. So things change. Attitudes and behaviors and customs and traditions get affected by these changes. Now, what I have to say to the Jamaican government is I want you to stop pretending like you don't know what is happening. And I also like to say to the government, stop being a hypocrite. Because I find whenever a party comes out of power, people tend to have arguments like ready to critique the other government for doing things that you've done. Not too long ago, um, the Prime Minister of Great Britain came to Jamaica and offered prison. I'm sure individuals probably already signed those deals behind closed door to take individuals to the country. There's a part or a plan that was worked out in detail. And now that party is now in the opposition seat, they're now criticizing the current government for not doing more to shed light on this situation. England will do what England will do. America will do what America will do. And if they say somebody is gonna get deported, there is very little a small country like Jamaica can do. We have to understand that we're still under colonial rule and that we're not independent, as we like to tell people. The problem is now, what are you going to do with these individuals that return? Some are senior citizens. Are you ensuring that when the government deport these older people, that there's systems in place to make sure that they get their pensions, to get whatever they would have gotten if they were in England? Because what is done is done. Now, I do understand there are Jamaicans that really have this mentality that they can take their badness anywhere in the world and they can misbehave as much as they like and they don't expect a penalty. Recently, I heard of a situation where a young man came to Canada and was only here for 4 months. And that person was importing drugs from Jamaica to sell in this space. I think that's very disrespectful. And I think that is very foolhardy, because if you had an opportunity to make better of your life, and as soon as you get to the space where you can try to do better with your life, you are going to still indulge in illegal activities. I don't feel sorry for you. I don't. And in that case, you deserve to be deported. You asked for that. You defied the laws of the land, and now you have to face a penalty. And that's the case with some people that are going to be deported. Now, on the plus side, all I can say to these individuals, whether you were criminals or whether you were just, caught up in these huge changes, sometimes things happen and it's very painful and very scary. Changes are strange and scary, and the only thing I can say, because I'm not in your shoes, I can try to have some kind of perspective. But sometimes we are being saved from something and we don't really know what it is yet. So being sent back to your home country, it's painful, it's scary, but down the road it might be a blessing. Try to see if you can adjust. Try to see if you can, find a way to move on. The world is changing, and there will be more of this. And I absolutely believe that even when you are born in a country, there will be changes to the point where if you do something or someone says that you are responsible for doing something wrong, you might be sent back to the country of your parents. It's just one of those things, unfortunately. So, Jamaican government find ways to bring these people into the country and to make them become active citizens where they don't come there and share their trade if they're criminals with those who live there. Try to create opportunities for the people who live there, the young people in particular, so when criminals are sent to Jamaica, they are not, lured into learning the tricks and the trades. Because if the young people are sensible, they'll understand that these persons have nothing to offer. Because if they did, they wouldn't have been caught. They wouldn't have been sent back home. A lot of things are changing in the world right now. And you either roll with the punches or resist. And African people nowadays are not showing much of character when it comes to resisting or standing up. We either are afraid or we're just tired. And I can't say I blame people anymore, because most people who resist change, who stand up and try to fight for revolution, they end up dead. And oftentimes, the persons who they're doing it for are not very appreciative of the efforts that they make. So somehow we have to do what we have to do, and we have to determine within ourselves what we're willing to live or die for. Be blessed, African people. Think on these things.